Varsity Media is the tri-state area's leader in sports media production. We specialize in live streaming.
Gargiulo over the middle. He's got a man. It's complete. And Ciolino. See you later. Touchdown, Massapequa.
Videography. And photography. Covering all sports at all levels. We feature aerial photography and videography, college recruiting videos, live streaming of games.
Top of the key, Smith. Why not? Wow. Bang! McKee, first down and more! Charlie McKee! Touchdown, Oceanside!
School events, graduations. Varsity Media is available to cover a game, a tournament, a season, or any special event.
Talk to us a little bit about what went through your mind, how you prepared for that to run such a fast speed.
Currently, spectators are limited at events. Let Varsity Media bring the event to your fans. Contact Varsity Media today for more information. Online at varsitymedia.net or by phone 516-403-2050.
The Springs 2021 sports season rolls on here on Long Island, and today from the South Shore in Nassau County, it's a Nassau Conference 1 matchup between the Southside Cyclones and the Dalers of Farmingdale. Hello again, everyone. Welcome to Southside High School. Matt Shortis and Ben Turchin with you. And Ben, in this amalgamation conference for Nassau County this year with no out-of-conference games, we've grouped two classifications, if you will. So all games are technically in conference. But if you look at the schedules coming up for both of these teams, this is really the last non-conference, quote-unquote, type game that you get, because after this game, it's 5 straight games for both of these teams of teams they will see in the playoffs. So Southside coming off a loss, trying to still figure things out. It's a big game on the horizon for both of these teams, but probably especially the home team in the Cyclones.
Absolutely, Matt. Southside, you're talking about a different classification. Class B won't face Farmingdale in the postseason. Farmingdale, of course, one of the bigger schools in Nassau County. Class A. So these teams get a look at each other, non-conference. I love what Nassau County did with lacrosse this year. You had mentioned at the beginning, Conference 1, Conference 2. But Conference 1 is made up of some of the powerhouse programs that we have in Nassau County. So a Garden City can face a Syosset that's going on right now on the Varsity Media Sports Network. And not that they wouldn't play normally in a regular season, but put them all in together, see how it shakes out. And the fun part about it is we still get a postseason anyways.
Yeah, once postseason time comes, the B schools will regroup with the Bs, the A schools will regroup with the A's. So we'll take a look at some of the players to key in on for this matchup today. And for Farmingdale, again, coming in 4-1 on the season, they've had a couple of high offensive outputs the last couple of games, and Ryan Woodland, the junior attackman, has been right in the mix for the Dalers the last few games.
He is really coming on strong, and I know Coach Hungerford has spoken a lot about him. Matt, he's a leader on this team, and I think as he goes, the Dalers will go today. Take a look at that. 13 goals and 9 assists on the season. Coming off a
4-goal performance, and Mike Hungerford said that they perhaps haven't had a player like him since Sal Tuttle, which is going back about a decade for the quarterback for the Dalers, and attackman as well. And then for Southside, defensively, you look at what they can do, and Matt Lazito has come in and been the leader on their close defense.
Yeah, Lazito comes from a great family. We know them very well. as coach is talking up to the board like we're in charge of the clock. And they'll have to figure that out, so we'll have a little bit of a delay here. But talking about Lazito, great kid, on his way to Georgia to play club lacrosse. How cool is that? Not only do you get to play lacrosse, but you get to see some big SEC football at the same time, Matt. So that's pretty exciting for Matt. And, of course, we know the Lazito family very well here at Varsity Media. So with Dana and Bill, they do a great job here in town. They do the youth lacrosse football program. And excited for them and for Matt having a great year.
So a momentary delay here is they were trying to get somebody up here to run the clock, and they were Steve DiPietro was looking at us, and we're like, we're trying to do a game up here.
I mean, we're talented, but I don't know if we're that talented.
That would be some multifaceted. Maybe if Dylan was here, because Dylan can keep the stats while he's doing a game. I don't know if I have that on me. So. We'll take a look at the starting lineups first for the Dalers of Farmingdale. We mentioned Ryan Woodland at the attack, Colton Becker and James Hickes in the midfield, Capucciati, Decker, and Chiaco Almendia as well at the faceoff, Lembo, Bielo, Ramos in the defense, and Danny Seaman in goal. And then for the home team, the Southside Cyclones, same lineup we saw Friday afternoon against Port Washington with TJ Sheehan, John Jude Considine, Matt Melkonian at the attack, Kelly, West, and Mindel at the midfield. Lizito, who we heard from, Pat and Chris Erickson, Tommy Gentile between the pipes, and Tom Kelly will be one of their face-off guys as well.
TJ Sheehan, number 1, on his way to Denver. For those lacrosse fans that watched that game, a heartbreaker for Denver this weekend, losing to Loyola by a goal. Last-second chance for Denver didn't go down, Matt. I was talking to you about that before we got on the broadcast. So I think Denver's looking forward to getting TJ Sheehan on that squad.
For sure. And we'll go to the Face-Off X. Southside has had some difficulties at the Face-Off X this season so far. Tom Haggerty, the senior, will be there for Southside. And it's Craig Mangio, the sophomore, at 61% for Farmingdale in the black and green. So Farmingdale is in the black and green and Southside in the home whites. And we've got a scoreboard operator up here now. And the ball is spotted down at the face-off X right over the middle of the Tornado Cyclone logo, and a procedure to start us off, or a whistle anyway, as the officials will get together. And they're taking a look. It almost looks like they're taking a look at Craig Mangio's stick. So we'll take 2 on that face-off. So again, Mangio and Haggerty. Haggerty won it cleanly, but the ball knocked out of his stick, and a ground ball picked up by Farmingdale. They come charging up ahead quickly the other way from right to left. Good movement for the Dalers. A shot going wide off the stick of Capucciati. And that goes a little bit wide, but Farmingdale will have the first offensive possession of the game. This Cyclones team spent a lot of time in the defensive third of their field on Friday. They had some trouble gaining possession, and Port Washington had some good long possessions that really wore down this defense as the game went on. So, speaking with Steve DiPietro, the head coach of Southside, said they watched the tape of that one and come away knowing really what they need to clean up and what they need to work better on.
Same with Farmingdale, too. You know, they had a tough loss to Garden City. I know Hungerford was talking about that. Big learning experience for them.
Yeah, I mean, there were a few things that he was able to highlight, and he said he felt like that Garden City loss was probably a really good thing for them because it even spotlighted some things that maybe the coaches weren't aware of.
Coaches always say, right, you learn more in a loss than you do a win.
Here's a turnaround shot by Woodland. His shot deflected before it got to Cage, and nice job backing out there by Gentile, who gave chase. Gentile and Matt Lazito were closest to it, so it'll be Southside possession after the shot from Woodland goes out of bounds.
Might have been Lazito who deflected that, Matt. Our player to watch here gets off on a good start.
Yeah, our 2 guys that we highlighted matched up against each other, so that's always fun. A look and a clear attempt. Here's Thomas Kelly with it for Southside, stepping into the box. Kelly, the lone multi-point scorer last week against Port Washington. So offensively, Southside felt like they they need to be a little bit more patient when everybody's getting a touch offensively. One of the things that Port Washington did was it almost seemed like as soon as anybody dodged, a double team came quickly. So they want to be able to draw that double and pass the ball away quickly like they do here. Good coverage and a nice slide up top by the pole. And Thomas Kelly veered back out. But Southside, again, so far doing a pretty good job being patient here. Here's Kelly driving towards Cage. Shot stopped by Seaman. Right in the chest protector and a ground ball to Farmingdale.
Well, great opportunity for Kelly. Had everything he wanted. Good angle, but a better job by the goalie there on that save.
Seaman doing a nice job of hugging the post. Outlet pass ahead for Farmingdale into the stick of DiCarlo. And DiCarlo will step it in the box. Left-handed stick, he finds Tom Decker back up to DiCarlo. A little trouble with it, but he recovers. And those two play catch near the top left corner of the box. We played 3 minutes in the opening quarter. No score between Farmingdale and Southside from Rockville Center. And both teams not showing a whole lot just yet. Very patient, working it around the perimeter. Everybody getting a touch. Here's Decker on the drive. Feeds it back behind the cage for Woodland. Now it's Becker. Capucciati on the run. Bouncing shot, whistling past Gentile.
Good look, Becker. Just short. Bounces right shy of the goal. But Farmingdale takes over offensively.
We have Colton Becker and Tom Decker, which is not always the easiest on a play-by-play announcer. Shot on the run, bounced one past the goalie, and Colton Becker gets Farmingdale on the board nearly 4 minutes into this one, and the Dalers take a 1-0 lead.
Well, you got the name right, Matt. Good job. That was indeed Becker, the only on to commit, getting Farmingdale off on the board first. Great-looking shot by him coming around. And the Dalers go up 1-0.
So Colton Becker, his 11th goal on the season. And he's 2 behind Ryan Woodland for the team lead. Those two guys have been doing a bulk of the scoring for Farmingdale so far. 19 combined points for Colton Becker and 22 for Ryan Woodland. They go back to the face-off X. It's Haggerty again for Southside, and for Farmingdale, looks like Almadina might be in there this time. Haggerty, the ground ball, takes it cleanly, and then harassed on the near side, turned over, and a ground ball scooped up by Colton Becker. So he scored the goal and then wins the possession right after.
And look at Lazito right on him.
Nearly taken away. Nice job by the short stick Charlie McKeough to make things uncomfortable. This is Tom Decker, the Albany commit. One of the best offensive players in Nassau, according to his head coach, Mike Hungerford. That first line midfield with Decker among them, as well as Steve DiCarlo today. Some hesitation comes from the near side for DiCarlo. Thought about it. Slide nicely by McKeough. And they work it around to the other side. This is Decker. Drive behind at X. Woodland with it. Turned back by Lazito. Nice job. Pat Erickson on him as well. Tom Decker off a screen. Straight away, and Southside's doing a pretty good job not allowing anything on the interior just yet. Minus the one goal, the one shot that led to the goal. Shot and a save made by Gentile, and Southside moving ahead quickly. Here's Tom Kelly with a burst of speed over the midfield line, trying to play the numbers. Kelly waits for the slide to come over. Top left side, blocked before it could get to the goaltender, and John Jude Considine had his shot deflected out of bounds.
I think it was Bolello, Anthony Bolello, on his way to Binghamton, doing a great job from behind on the block, just as he was ready to fire that shot, Matt. Farmingdale, at least a little bit for a second here, delays the Southside offense.
And again, nice job defensively for Farmingdale, kind of staying home on that fast break. It wasn't a true 4-on-3. The defensive midfielder was coming back with them. So they were able to wait a little bit longer before that slide came. Here's Mindel up top, pulling it all the way out. One-on-one with the short stick on him. Crossfield pass for Kelly. We played 6.5 minutes in the opening quarter, 1-0. The lone goal for Farmingdale from Colton Becker. Coming 4 minutes in. Here's Sheehan driving hard, and a shot ushered aside by Seaman.
Yeah, well, Southside will take that every time from their sharpshooter. Good-looking shot, just sails a little bit wide. Southside maintains possession.
Farmingdale will take it as well, giving shots in the alley decently for their netminder to see. Nothing too quick, right on his doorstep. Here's Kelly getting around the defender. Kelly looking up top, pass knocked down. Right back into the stick of Brady West, though.
Jordan Smichael getting that stick up.
Considine back up top for Mindel. Now Kelly with it straight away. Those two play catch at the top of the box. Goal line extended. It comes for Considine now. And so far defensively, both teams keeping things out on the perimeter. Here's West inverting. Goal line extended. Now to X. Roll dodge inside. Bounce shot goes through the goal mouth. Right to Kelly. Up top for Sheehan now. Sheehan loses the footing. Loses the ball in the back check, and the ball is to the turf. Scooped up top for Southside. Matt Malconian picking it up off the turf and getting it out of trouble.
How about this job defensively by the Dalers? So difficult, Matt, for Southside to get any look right now.
And the really good look they did have, they just couldn't control the ball too well. Sheehan up top, missed it just wide as it goes past the goal.
Yeah, 2 misfires by Sheehan. You don't see that too often. He's so good from that angle and from that yardage, Matt. To miss 2, you know, at some point he's going to get that to go.
Play restarted by Southside in the form of Considine. Considine gets a step on his man. His shot is deflected from behind. Defender got a nice job on the back check as he reared back to get that shot away. Mindel now to Sheehan. 3 minutes remaining in the first quarter. Low scoring game so far. 1-0 Farmingdale the lead with a goal from Becker at 8:03 in the first quarter. Sheehan trying to play a little pick and roll, well defended by Farmingdale. He lets one fly, and again off target. So he's had 3 shots on this possession, Ben.
Yeah, I don't know if maybe work it in a little bit further inside. I know the Daler defense has been strong.
Off to the left side, low to high, a shot again, whistling just a little bit wide from Tom Kelly. But this is even though they haven't scored yet, a more pressurized offense than we saw on Friday against Port Washington, where everybody's getting a look, and we've already had like 4 or 5 shots on this possession alone. Here's Mindel. Back behind the cage. This is Considine with it. Considine, the quarterback of the football team. Again, made the Big 4 for the 3rd consecutive year. Here's Kelly on the run. Again, pulls it just wide. Good look for Tom Kelly, who is dodging to the cage.
You wonder if some of this is butterflies by the team, Matt, because these shots are good looks. They're getting the opportunities like you talked about. It's just not falling right now for the Cyclones.
Well, Farmingdale also defensively, they're making it a little bit tough. Even as Kelly let that shot go, he got a little shove from the defender right on his hip.
Does seem like every shot has been contested so far by Farmingdale, with a couple by Sheehan. Most of the shots have been contested.
Second line midfield coming in for Southside now is Billy Moore. That's how long his possession has gone. Moore cutting inside. Moore shot denied before it could even get to Seaman. Ground ball picked up by Farmingdale, and they will try and clear after a very long defensive possession.
Yeah, tough angle there. Good job by the goalie. Not that much room there, though, for the attackman. And here comes Farmingdale.
Lorenzo Ramos able to clear it away. 70 seconds remain in the first quarter. 1-0 Farmingdale, the advantage. We'll see here after that long defensive stand. We'll see if they elect to kind of be patient on this offensive series and maybe hold for the last shot of the quarter. That first line group of Capucciati, DiCarlo, and Decker on for Farmingdale. One of the things we talked about for Farmingdale after that Garden City game, one of those things that they really decided they needed to key in on, might sound basic, but it was perimeter passing. And they've done a better job of that in the 2 games since. Here's Woodland on the drive. Double team slides over to him. Left side it comes. Roll dodge for Decker. Decker puts one in the back of the net. Little helter-skelter, and Farmingdale got the south side defense moving. That double team came over to Woodland, and then Decker with a nice one-on-one effort gives Farmingdale the 2-0 lead.
Hungerford talks about this kid as a stock rising type of player. Maybe some colleges missed the boat on Decker, but he's putting on a show here in the first quarter.
So we had 1 goal from Becker and 1 goal from Decker. They can open a law firm. 2-0 Farmingdale leads in the waning seconds here of the first quarter. Face off, won by Haggerty. He's having a little trouble with the ground ball, but he does scoop it up. 2 seconds to go. And the horn will sound on the first quarter of play. So a low-scoring effort. Both goals belonging to Farmingdale. Becker and Decker giving the Dalers a 2-0 lead after 1. Stay with us. Still plenty more to come on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports. Now is the time to promote your business on our broadcasts.
Now Farmingdale will fire and find the back of the net.
Top of the key, 4-3, good.
With viewership in the thousands, your company will get the local attention it needs. Best of all, we offer affordable rates. High school sports online audiences are growing. Take advantage by advertising with Varsity Media.
Hands off, 3-point shot is up and in. You back him back 3 yards, it doesn't matter. Touchdown, Freeport.
Contact us today, 516-403-2050, varsitymedia.net.
Welcome back to Southside High School. Matt Shortis, Ben Turchin with you as we get ready to begin the second quarter of play. And Ben, you were just saying, sometimes you don't know what kind of game you're going to get from game to game in terms of style. This has been a slow-paced, methodical type game, at least through the first quarter.
Well, I give credit to the defenses on both sides. They've come to play today. I know Southside has had some opportunities. They have not fallen. Farmingdale has taken advantage of the shots that they've had. But as you can see, if you're a lacrosse fan watching this game, the defense, Farmingdale's defense got off the bus today, and Southside doing a nice job as well.
Yeah, and I would say even from the things that Southside wanted to clean up or correct or key in on from the Friday night game against Port Washington, even though they haven't scored yet, the offense has been much more fluid. They've gotten good opportunities and good looks. Farmingdale defense has just made the most of it.
Yeah, folks have to remember that this is a B school taking on an A school, and they're playing competitively with Farmingdale right now.
Haggerty out at the face-off dot for Southside, and for Farmingdale, it's Tom Elmedina. Southside will control it as it's Luke Schwartzberg coming away with the face-off and the ground ball. So Southside tracking right to left this quarter. I don't know how much this comes into play. I was noticing it on the last Southside possession, that long offensive series, is the goaltender off to our right is looking directly into the sun.
Yep.
At least as the sun is setting. So we'll see how long if that plays a factor. It's just something I was kind of seeing.
I was thinking the same thing myself as we started the second quarter, as the sun is shining through to our left. And how will that affect each side of the field?
West looking through the crease. Ball nearly swept in by John Jude Considine, almost like a hockey wrist shot.
Yeah.
But Seaman was there to stop it.
And I don't blame him, maybe something a little off kilter there, catch the goalie sleeping a little bit, but nice job, Seaman, right on the money.
Ball knocked away, and TJ Sheehan able to scoop it up off the turf. Well, now he does. Southside trying to make the most of this. Crank shot for Kelly and a stop by Seaman. Good job by Southside putting some pressure on Seaman, and Farmingdale having a little trouble getting rid of the ball here. They work it all the way to the near side for Bolello. Seaman's got to look upfield before we have a failure to advance.
Yeah. Did we get a timeout?
Yeah, I think Mike Hungerford called a timeout with his team having a little trouble getting it out of their own zone. 10:08 to go in the first half. Let's take a look at the standings for these two teams. Again, they're playing in Conference 1, but by the time we get to they're playing in Conference A, and by the time we get to the playoffs, we'll have different seeding based on classification. So Hicksville right now having off to a great start, 6-0. Port Washington had a couple of quality wins as well. This
Garden
Farmingdale
City,
team,
they beat Garden City. You saw them right here against outside of Port Washington.
Exactly. So one other thing I think that's interesting about as we take a look at the A standings, and we'll flip to the B standings now, where Southside is and Garden City. As MacArthur leads the way at 3-1, Carey 2-2, Garden City 2-2, which it seems kind of uncharacteristic, right? But when you think of the quality of play that Carey has had, they had a close loss to Syosset. We saw that game on Varsity Media. Garden City had the loss opening game of the season at Port Washington. So things are a little not quite clear as you might expect in a regular season.
A little still early, and as we get into conference play, I think these standings will start to separate themselves. By the way, that's obsolete already because I do think the Garden City Syosset game went final. We'll try to get a score here, as that game was on the Varsity Media Sports Network. Dylan Butler with the call there. That was 4-3. And that was a close game throughout. So we'll try to get a final score there for you.
It was 4-3 at half. Mike Hungerford told me he was watching it on the bus on the way here.
Well, that's what happened. We try to bring you the best games here on the network.
So Farmingdale able to start with the ball close to midfield. They get it to Kyle Wilson, who is getting the start at attack today. Quarterback on the football team. And his older brother Kevin, running back at LIU, member of the Sharks football team.
He was some player for the Farmingdale football team. Unbelievable athlete.
The Sharks had a spring season too, where they got their first two Division I wins. Finished 2-2 on this season. Here's a drive from Capucciati. And this is that area of the field we were talking about where the shadows and the sun are right at the goaltender. Woodland lets one fly from the 20-yard line of the football field. And he puts it in, so the Dalers take a 3-0 lead here in the second.
And I don't think you could have teed that up any better because I don't think Tommy Gentile even saw that ball. I really think he was blocked or the sun was in his eyes or something, because as you'll see on this replay here, as Woodland does a nice job going low, you're going to see that the goalie, I don't even think he reacts. And if he does, it came super late.
Yeah, it was a little late from Gentile. And again, I think you're right. We kind of were pointing it out, whether it was the sun or he got blocked out by either one of his defenders or one of the Farmingdale guys, but a little late on that one. So Farmingdale off to a 3-0 advantage. Haggerty trying to get a possession for Southside and a big face-off for the Cyclones, trying to battle their way back into this after a 3-0 deficit to start this game.
You think about it, Southside had to go through Syosset, hung with them, lost by a goal. Southside had to play Port Washington, another A school, and now here against Farmingdale. And they have been competitive. They've been able to play with all of these teams. And I think that will be a confidence booster for the Cyclone squad as they continue on, Matt, throughout the rest of the season, and they play teams in their classification.
Especially that Southside game, and they played what Steve DiPietro said was a little bit uneven against Long Beach in one of those B school games, moving inside. Tight shot and a goal. Dan Capitelli. Make it Brady West getting Southside for the first time today.
There's the Loyola commit with the goal. And I think Southside really needed that. Get the butterflies out. Okay, we can play lacrosse right now. You know, we can play with Farmingdale. It's a 3-1 game. They hadn't got a goal in the first quarter. Big goal for Brady West right there.
And a nice job by West recognizing that the defender had to come across. He was on the far side of the goal, behind the goal, so he had to step over the back end of the goal, almost giving West another second or two to try and move towards cage. Face-off win by Farmingdale. The Dalers moving quickly now. And they'll get their offensive personnel on. And Capucciotti's got it right now. Here's a drive from the right side for Decker. Decker moving in tight. Shot going wide. Rebound to the ex-attackman in Becker.
They have a slash on that as a flag comes on the field. On the far right side of the field on the 20-yard line. And it's going to be on Southside.
A delayed penalty coming up on the home team. It'll be the first penalty of the game for either team. Here's Decker. Short stick matchup on him and Kelly. He gets by him and puts it past Gentile to give Farmingdale the 4-1 lead.
One of the things I've noticed in this game is Farmingdale's shots, Matt, have come low. I don't know if that's been the scouting report on the Southside goalie, but you don't see too many shots high. They've been low shots, bounce shots, and that seems to be working for the Dalers today.
Well, one of the things that Mike Hungerford talked about, again, another takeaway from that Garden City game, is he said our shooting has to be better in terms of like the not necessarily the shot selection, but the shot placement. And that might be something that you were picking up on.
Yeah, I wonder if that's what he talked about. I mean, maybe that's a tougher angle for the goalie right in front of him. And, well, we saw one right before. We saw a low shot anyways by Woodland. That wasn't a bouncer. But the previous ones were right in front of the goalie. And I wonder if Gentile either struggles with those or if that's just something Farmingdale's looking to do here.
I mean, the big thing from an offensive standpoint is you want to be able to change levels, and there's an infraction against Southside. So you never want to be high to high, which means if you're coming over the top, having that ball stay high so that it's an easy save for the goalie. So if you're going high, you kind of want to go low or low to high. Make the goalie move and make the goalie work a little bit. So that's kind of what Farmingdale is doing here with either those bounce shots or their shot placement that they've had thus far.
Yeah, so I think Coach Hungerford would be pretty happy if we asked him right now. I tried to get a mic on him before the game, but he said, no dice on that one. But I think he'd be pretty happy with the shooting selection today by his offense.
West's shot was well defended and blocked before it could get to the goalie Seaman. Here's TJ Sheehan driving in traffic, and Sheehan gets hammered as he goes to the goal, and we're going to have a penalty coming up against Farmingdale.
Give a lot of credit to Sheehan. He knows he needs a little more aggressive play. Trying to get his team pumped up here, down 4-1, taking it himself, and just a nice aggressive play to the cage.
So the first penalty that we had, the first flag, was waved off because Farmingdale got a goal. So this will be our first man-up situation for either team. And our first look at Southside's man-up, as they had a pretty decent amount of time with special teams on Friday against Port Washington. There was a lot of penalties called on both sides. A very physical, chippy game. They did not execute incredibly well. Port Washington was able to get 2 shorthanded goals Friday afternoon. So the Cyclones go back to work. It's a 30-second man advantage. Trying to cut into this 4-1 deficit. Here's Sheehan behind the cage. Now Kelly with it. Meindl, Considine, and Melkonian. Everybody on the offense has gotten a touch. Now the offense starts to move. Here's Sheehan. Well defended by Ramos. Sheehan kind of trying to come around the edge. His stick is knocked away. And the ball's deflected, and Seaman's able to pick it up off the turf.
Another great aggressive play by Seaman to go out and get that ball. He didn't wait. He went out to grab it.
Nice outlet pass for Farmingdale. Numbers for the Dalers. Here's DeCarlo, a shot whistling wide past Gentile. We've played a little over 6 minutes of the second quarter, a 4-1 Farmingdale advantage. Kyle Wilson along with DeCarlo and Decker up top right now. Becker. Woodland feeding down low to DeCarlo. DeCarlo going low, and that one took a short hop off the turf.
Just getting word from Garden City, it was a 6-5 Syosset win. How about that? Garden City drops to 2-3.
Braves stay unbeaten on the season, correct?
Cold Spring Harbor got them on Friday when you were at Port Washington. That is their only loss. And Cold Spring Harbor is undefeated. So Syosset off to a very good start this year.
I know we talked about the A's and the B's, but between Manhasset and Cold Spring Harbor in the C, with how they've looked in the early going.
Yes, that is going to be a game that all eyes will be on for sure. And they probably won't see each other until the championship. I don't get too far ahead of ourselves, but they do play in the regular season. That might actually be coming up either this week or next week. And that game is at Manhasset. So we'll get a little preview.
There's a roll dodge from Woodland, and Lazito's able to come up with it. Lazito feeding Gentile. And Southside is on the move. McKeel able to clear it ahead, but then he's not able to hold on to it, and Farmingdale moves it. Here's Jordan Smeichel, but the ball knocked away, and Considine's got it for Southside. So neither team able to hold on to it. Here comes Considine charging in. Low shot save made by Seaman. Good outlet pass ahead. Here comes Decker. And now we've had some good up and down play for both these teams. Nicely done by Lazito to knock the ball away, but recovered by the Dalers.
Yeah, you could see why he was your player to watch in this game. He's all over the field defensively, is Lazito, number 21 for Southside.
So Capucciati picks it up off the turf. Two and a half to play in this first half. 4-1, Farmingdale leads. 2 goals from Decker today to make it a 4-1 advantage. And the green and black looking for more before this first half comes to a close. DeCarlo coming down low. Dodge from X. Fed up top for Woodland. Woodland stepped into it. Good job defensively and a save by Gentile.
Great save, Gentile. That was a low also, and he somehow found it. Scooped it out.
A nice job by Pat Erickson to alter that shot and really make sure that Woodland couldn't load up on it.
Yeah, Erickson not afraid to step into those lanes. And you're right, he did alter that shot.
Outside trying to move with some quickness now. Backhanded shot goes in. Brady West. Second time today for Southside. And the Cyclones are back within 2. It's 4-2.
Great pass, better shot. Backwards, like you said. Brady West has 2 today. Look at this pass. It's going to come right here. The lead pass, the backward shot. That's a beautiful play by Southside. We've got a game here, Matt.
So West netting his second today. And a big face-off now. 1:35 to go in the first half. This could be for the final possession before the first half comes to an end. And it's Haggerty again, and we have procedure against Thomas Haggerty. So it's Farmingdale ball. There's Thomas Ramos, the younger brother of Lorenzo. Wilson now with it. And we'll get a timeout called by Farmingdale, I believe.
Yes.
And we'll take a look at the upcoming schedules for both of these teams. As we were talking about before, this is the last sort of in-conference, non-conference game for a while. It's the bye week for both of these teams where they only get one game, but Farmingdale will now go into the meat of their A schedule. So you have Oceanside, Massapequa coming up again with Syosset, Port Washington. So for their next 5 games are all A schools, and that is really going to determine playoff positioning, playoff seeding, and we'll get a good look. And of course, the Syosset games in Port Washington, the way that those two teams have played early on in this season, and likewise for Southside, is we'll see kind of where they stand after some of these games that they've are using as measuring sticks, but carrying Garden City, the 26th and the 28th will be some big games coming up for the Cyclones. And
even MacArthur on the 21st, which is Friday. They have a big game over there. MacArthur's a tough team.
And you can see we'll have some of those games here on Varsity Media Sports Network.
Really like that June 1st matchup between Farmingdale and Syosset. I think that's a good one. That's one to look forward to. That'll be on our network. That'll be at Farmingdale. Syosset, again, with a big win today at Garden City. John Calabria has those boys off to a very good start. But then, of course, Cold Spring Harbor still undefeated. There's a lot of good teams out there in Nassau County this year, just like every other year. This year is no different. They're just really excited to be playing lacrosse right now.
And with weather getting warmer, everybody able to be outside. You're sure on a Tuesday night, that'll probably be a well-attended game.
That's right. Restrictions starting to loosen up a little bit. More people allowed to go to the games. It's all positive.
So 40 seconds left in this first half. Farmingdale out of the timeout, using some clock on a hold for the last shot. It's Pucciani's with the ball in his stick at the moment, standing in front of the Farmingdale bench. Will walk on at Binghamton. Now he starts to move. And a pass thrown high and away. He was looking for Kyle Wilson. So it'll give the ball back to Southside with just 15 seconds left. It's hurled downfield across midfield. And 5 seconds left. Kelly feeds right on the crease, a quick stick and a goal.
How's that for momentum, Matt, at the buzzer? Southside gets one in, going to halftime down 1. What a great play there at the end of the half.
Owen Ferreira, right place, right time as time expires. How about Kelly with the clock behind him, knowing time was running out? Ferreira, quick stick, goal for the first-year varsity man.
What I like what Ferreira did there is he gave him a target. He gave the passer a target and then took the shot on goal. Great job by number 11.
So Southside cuts it to 1 before the halftime break. It's 4-3 Farmingdale on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports. Now is the time to showcase your skills for the next level. College recruiting videos help your athlete land a spot on the team and can save money on college tuition. Consider a professional video produced by Varsity Media. Our quality film and state-of-the-art editing will help your athlete stand out from the competition. We offer affordable rates and a quick turnaround. Contact Varsity Media today and book a college recruiting video. 516-403-2050 or online at varsitymedia.net. Are you settling for a boring live stream? Can't see the players' uniforms? No audio? Camera not following the action? Consider a live stream broadcast with Varsity Media. Our announcers help tell the story of your game.
McCarthy. He's got. He's in. Touchdown, Farmingdale.
We feature multiple camera angles, guaranteed to capture all the action.
Touchdown, Oceanside.
Plus added features like graphics, instant replay.
Yeah, the shooters are going to shoot here at Bethpage, and one of many threes on the day.
Interviews, and more. It's your time to shine. And with Varsity Media, now you can. Contact us today and book a live stream broadcast with Varsity Media. Online at varsitymedia.net or by phone 516-403-2050. Varsity Media is the tri-state area's leader in sports media production. We specialize in live streaming.
Gargiulo over the middle. He's got a man. It's complete. And Ciolino. See you later. Touchdown, Massapequa.
Videography. And photography. Covering all sports at all levels. We feature aerial photography and videography, college recruiting videos, live streaming of games.
Top of the key, Smith. Why not? Wow. Bang. McKee, first down and more. Charlie McKee. Touchdown, Oceanside.
School events, graduations. Varsity Media is available to cover a game, a tournament, a season, or any special event.
Talk to us a little bit about what went through your mind, how you prepared for that to run such a fast speed.
Currently, spectators are limited at events. Let Varsity Media bring the event to your fans. Contact Varsity Media today for more information. Online at varsitymedia.net or by phone 516-403-2050. Now is the time to promote your business on our broadcasts.
Now Farmingdale will fire and find the back of the net.
Top of the key, 4-3, good.
With viewership in the thousands, your company will get the local attention it needs. Best of all, we offer affordable rates. High school sports online audiences are growing. Take advantage by advertising with Varsity Media.
Hands off, three-point shot is up and in. You back him back 3 yards, it doesn't matter. Touchdown, Freeport.
Contact us today, 516-403-2050, varsitymedia.net.
Welcome back to Southside High School. Farmingdale, you'll see, they lead 4-2. The goal by Ferreira at the end of that first half, that was disallowed. The officials saying that the clock had expired, so we'll take another look at that. Unfortunately, we don't have an angle with the goal and the clock in the same shot. But, Ben, I think from our vantage point, we go by the ear test a little bit because you're watching the game, but it sounded like the horn on the scoreboard came after the goal.
Yeah, we both from up here thought that was a good goal. I think that ball came out of the stick as we hit zeros, which should count. And referees don't have the fortune of looking at our replay up here, although we invite them to come up if they'd like to and take a look. But they're not going to do that. They're going to take us up on that offer. So it's a tough break for Southside. And remember how into it they were and how excited they were after that goal. Heading into halftime, they thought, oh, we're down a goal, and now to come back and find out that goal doesn't count. That's a tough break in the locker room. So we'll see how do they bounce back off that.
I don't think that would be authorized by the New York State High School Athletic Association.
To come up here and take a look?
Yeah. They can do it for their own curiosity, but that's about it. Haggerty, nice face-off win for Southside and getting things started on the right foot for the Cyclones. Matt Melkonian with it as the home team moves left to right in this third quarter.
Melkonian is a name that you know from football. We'll see if Southside can get him going on his way to Franklin and Marshall. Running back for Southside.
He was an absolute workhorse for them this year. It's not uncharacteristic to see games where he had 32 carries for 200 yards and 3 touchdowns.
Southside will be heading to Conference 3. They kind of bob up and down between 2 and 3 in football, and this coming football season, Matt, they'll be back to Conference 3. They'll have Manhasset in there and Plain Edge, and it'll be pretty strong Conference 3 this year.
Yeah. I think that'll be perhaps I don't know about the most interesting, but a definitely interesting dynamic of teams that played each other like 3 months prior or 4 months prior, and we go back to it in the fall.
Well, what will be totally different is you're going to have graduating kids.
Yeah.
So it won't even be the same look.
Here's Kelly off to the left side for Brady West with a great first half. Hits the post on this shot. Rebounded by Farmingdale.
Man, how many goals can they take away from Southside? That one should have went in, just unlucky.
There's Nick Biscardi, right place, right time, and able to scoop that ball off the post, and Biscardi pushed, able to salvage it and get it into the stick of Ramos. Tommaso Ramos, who Mike Hungerford said is getting ready to explode. Some offensive personnel on for Farmingdale. This is Decker, who's got a pair today, leading the way for the Dalers. His 9th and 10th goals of the season, respectively. Again, what we saw in the first half was some methodical type offense. A lot of passing around the perimeter, waiting for their opportunities. Both teams did just that. Here's Decker, little hesitation. Goal line extended. Short stick on him, and the defense slides over. It's Pat Erickson. Roll dodge up top for Capucciati. Decker off a screen now. Decker shooting up high, bounce shot. Gentile got a piece of that. Gentile Atlas ahead to Schwartzberg. Numbers for Southside. Schwartzberg dumps it off left side. Well done by Schmeichel to quickly come back and get back in transition defensively. It's going to be a little tough with the pole leading the break. Schwartzberg perhaps could have waited another beater tube to pass that off before the slide came over. Either way, Southside gets into their offense now. Thomas Kelly with it. Kelly, push from behind, up top. It comes for Billy Moore. Moore to the left side for Melkonian. Matt Melkonian, we were talking about his football season, and Steve DiPietro said his confidence just really grew game by game and bringing it over to the lacrosse field as well in this spring. Straight away for Brady West. He and Kelly, the pair up top. Kelly has a short stick on him defensively, and Tom Decker. Kelly looking to the near side. Good look, but a pass a little thrown away and goes out of bounds to Farmingdale.
Yeah, it was a good idea. Good look. Errant throw and a turnover here, so the Dalers with an opportunity.
He was looking for Brady West, and West did a really good job getting into position. The pass just off the mark. Otherwise, that might have been another goal for Southside. Really impressed so far with the stick skills of Farmingdale's poles. Their outlet passing has been right on point so far today. Here's Steve DiCarlo straight away. We played about 5 minutes in this third quarter. 4-2, Farmingdale leads. Good pace and flow to this game. We only had 2 penalties. One of them followed through. So 1 full penalty, 2 flag markers. Off a screen. Here's Decker. DiCarlo with it now. DiCarlo shooting on the run. That one caught a post. Back up top it comes. Farmingdale new life on this possession with Tom Decker. Decker will go behind the cage. Here's Ryan Woodland. Lefty crank shot and a shot ushered away by Gentile. He is standing tall. We'll restart now. Colton Becker, who got the scoring started for Farmingdale. Here's DiCarlo straight away, the Geneseo commit. DiCarlo's got it. He'll invert now. Short stick matchup behind the cage. DiCarlo all the way up top, stepping into this one, and a shot. Hit a defender in the back of the head. Looked like it was Chris Erickson, who went down right away, and Erickson kind of put his hand to the back of his helmet. The official will blow the play dead right away. And of course, with any precaution for a potential head injury, he's going to come out right away. And that was not a quick little flick shot. That one had plenty behind it, as Tom Decker had come up, stepped into the shot, had some good motion. So Chris Erickson, one of the starting long poles on the close defense for Southside, the senior of the 2 Erickson brothers, he will go out now. And he'll get tended to and looked at on the Southside sideline. He was able to walk off on his own power, so that is a positive sign for sure. Play resumes. Here's Kyle Wilson dodging towards cage. Decker pushed aside. Nice job defensively by the pole and Schwartzberg. This is DiCarlo off a screen. Comes goal line extended near side for Becker. Becker lets one go. Backing up behind the cage was Ryan Woodland to collect that missed shot.
Yeah, Wilson, nice job there. Number 7, good idea. Quick shot low, just a little wide. Farmingdale recovers.
Woodland. Dodgers back up top for DiCarlo. 4-2 at halftime. 4-2's the score now. We've played 7.5 minutes. Becker turning around, trying to use his defender as a screen.
Trying to back him up.
Missed off target. He was going up against Patrick Erickson. Erickson's got some size on the Oneonta commit in Becker. Sun poking out from behind the clouds once more. Pass getting away, and it'll go out of bounds. So it's going to be Southside ball. Long offensive series for the Dalers, but they come away empty-handed. There's Matt Malconian. in the near side corner. He's being D'd up by Christian Limbo, the Maritime commit. Now Conian with it. And this is exactly, when your team has played a lot of defense, that's what you want. You want your midfielders to be patient, pass the ball around the perimeter. Don't get into the offense too quickly. TJ Sheehan now with it. Roll dodge on Ramos. Sheehan trying to get a step, falling into the crease. And the whistle's going to go against Sheehan as he stepped in on a crease violation.
Yeah, but what a take by Sheehan, right? How aggressive has this player been all day long trying to make something happen for a Cyclone squad? Just coming up a little short today, Matt.
That's something that's probably a bit more successful at the PLL on the pro circuit. I mean, college has adapted that rule a little bit where you could dive across the crease, as long as you're not in the crease at the time of the shot.
Well, if there's one thing that high school would take from college or the pros, how about a shot clock? Would love to see that.
I think anytime you have rules like that or different innovations or ideas, I know college coaches were calling for it for a while. You have proponents and you have its detractors and, and reasons why it could or couldn't work. We're at the 2-minute mark of this third quarter. No scoring yet in the quarter. 4-2 is the score right now. Decker trying to change that, and he does.
He's just so fast and able to create a shot that's so difficult for Southside to defend. I would say that he has been the one guy that Southside has struggled with the most today, Matt.
Tom Decker scores his third goal of the afternoon, the hat trick for the Farmingdale senior and the Albany commit.
Look at that angle. Fires left side, low right, and you had talked about that in the first half, making the goalie uncomfortable, high, low, and he's coming high, going low. It's just an unbelievable player.
Yeah, and he creates such matchup problems, right? Because he's a tall, physical midfielder.
Yep.
So if you get a short stick on him, it's really an offensive advantage for Farmingdale there.
Yeah, I think that Tom Decker is a name that Nassau County is going to be aware of as the season goes on here, if they're not already.
Schwartzberg picking up the ground ball for Southside. Little trouble handling it. And a flag down, delayed penalty coming up on Farmingdale. He's able to get it away to Tom Kelly. Kelly stepping over midfield, Ramos defending him, and Ramos a nice job on the check and the takeaway, but that'll just blow the play dead. As we'll have a hold and a 30-second Southside man advantage.
Well, it's time for the Cyclones here, Matt, to get something going. 5-2 with 80 seconds to go here in the third quarter. They need some momentum. They had it at the end of the half. That goal was called off, and we haven't seen anything from them here in the third quarter, so could this be the spark that ignites the Cyclones?
I think what's happened is that Farmingdale's really been able to establish and kind of dictate the tempo of this game. We've seen that we've seen that Southside can really push tempo and play fast. We saw that in the game against Syosset earlier this year. Farmingdale, it almost doesn't matter what the sport is. They're usually very defensive, blue-collar oriented, and they're making this game fairly low scoring.
Without a doubt, very low scoring today.
Southside 0 for 1 on the man advantage this afternoon. Here's Sheehan coming around a curl, tough angle shot, and it goes wide. Kelly there to back up. So the penalty was taken at 1:22, so about 10 seconds remain on the man advantage. There's Kelly. Back up top from Mindel. Considine harassed, triple teamed, and sent to the turf. Mindel picks it up though. Mindel stepping in, bounce shot, and Seaman got a piece of it. Southside will keep the possession, but a great job by the Farmingdale goalie.
Yeah, nice idea by Mindel. Bounced a little bit too far in front of the goal. I think he wanted that a little closer to the goalie. Had a good shot, though, Matt. That was the shot that Southside wanted. They got it. They just didn't capitalize.
So Kelly is in the far side corner. 40 seconds to go in the third quarter. 5-2 Farmingdale leads. Kelly isolating, pulling it all the way up top. Got a short stick on him. This is West. West driving to his left. Double team slides over. Up top from Mindel, looking right to the crease for Considine, but a pass off target and it goes out of bounds. That'll be a turnover. That's the second time in this quarter where Southside had an open man on the crease and just couldn't connect on the pass.
Yeah, they've had their chances, Matt. They really have. All game long. When they watch this film back, they're going to see that.
Ramos, as time expires, a shot from Decker. But not a lot behind that one, and an easy save for Gentile. So Farmingdale nets the lone goal in the third quarter, and they take a 5-2 lead to the fourth here in Rockville Center. Stay with us on Varsity Media Sports Network.
You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports. Are you settling for a boring live stream? Can't see the players' uniforms? No audio? Camera not following the action? Consider a live stream broadcast with Varsity Media. Our announcers help tell the story of your game.
Goes McCarthy. He's got. Oh, he's in. Touchdown, Farmingdale.
We feature multiple camera angles, guaranteed to capture all the action.
Touchdown, Oceanside.
Plus added features like graphics, instant replay.
Yeah, the shooters are going to shoot here at Bethpage. One of many threes on the day.
Interviews, and more. It's your time to shine. And with Varsity Media, now you can. Contact us today and book a live stream broadcast with Varsity Media. Online at varsitymedia.net or by phone 516-403-2050.
Welcome back to Southside High School. Matt Shortis and Ben Turchin with you as Farmingdale has a 5-2 lead. Take a look at some of the upcoming games we'll bring to you from Nassau and Suffolk County. Of course, the two games today that we had later this week, Long Beach Garden City and Bethpage Wantagh. We'll go out to Suffolk for Bayport Blue Point and West Islip, and into next week. Cary and Garden City should be a good one. Southside and Garden City, really all of these games will be good ones. And moving on into June, you see lots of Garden City, Cary. These Farmingdale Dalers will take on Syosset June 1st, as we talked about, from Farmingdale. That'll be a good one.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to another Suffolk showdown, Bayport Blue Point against West Islip. That's this Saturday. And then June 1st, I think that's the big game that a lot of people are going to circle on the calendar. That is Syosset traveling to Farmingdale. Both our teams having a great year early on, and that's a Class A battle. And, of course, we'll have that here on the Varsity Media Sports Network. And you can follow us on social media for updates. As we were saying off air, this schedule is constantly changing and updating, so of course we'll have some more games for you as well.
Especially as we get into June, playoff push. And I think one thing that Mike Hungerford was saying, we sort of alluded to it a little bit with teams maybe not separating just yet early in the season. And he was saying, he's like, the teams that are good will make the playoffs, and then I think come playoff time, it's really going to be wide open. Whoever's playing well and whoever's the healthiest.
I would say outside of Manhasset that we saw in the Woodstick Classic, that is really superior, and maybe Cold Spring Harbor will find that out when they play each other. I agree with you. I think it's wide open in all conferences.
And I think it's interesting if I can go a little sport to sport here, and different level. And so even like, the Nets are going to be in the NBA playoffs, and you listen to Steve Nash, and he's saying the same thing some of the high school coaches are saying. This season has been a lot more truncated. We want to make sure we're healthy. We want to make sure we're playing while we're going to the playoffs. So it's just interesting that across all levels, coaches are trying to handle their athletes in similar ways and dealing with similar challenges and problems.
That is interesting. I mean, everybody is dealing with the pandemic. Nobody is, no pun intended, immune to it. And got to do the best you can. And it trickles down at the high school level as well. These are athletes, student athletes, and they're playing games, Matt, almost every day they have a game. If they don't have a game on Tuesday, they have a game on Wednesday.
Here's DeCarlo trying to cut inside. Shot from up top. Hits the back of the net.
Decker again.
4th goal of the game for Tom Decker. And look out, he's just 2 off the team lead for Woodland. He's making a charge on him. 6-2, Farmingdale leads.
Might be making a charge for player of the game here.
Nice feed from behind the cage for Becker.
How about that velocity on that shot? Albany is getting a good one.
And that's essentially the shot that got Chris Erickson in the latter part of that 3rd quarter where he went out. And he's back in the game, so he seems to be okay. Face-off controlled by Southside. They've got some work to do, down by 4 with 10:37 to go in this one. Farmingdale trying to move to 5-1, their lone loss to Garden City. Southside trying to avoid dropping 2 straight to Class A teams here in Nassau County. Here's Kelly at the football 20-yard line, inside the box. Off a screen, he's dodging hard to his right. Comes back to the near side for Mindel. Mindel will pull it out as he has a short stick in Biscardi on him. And now he inverts, he and Considine back behind the cage. Considine. Double team comes over to him. Up top, it's Kelly. Kelly off a screen. Kelly surveying. Farmingdale not really giving anything on the interior right now. Southside trying to be patient. Kelly, turnaround shot as he comes across the goal line extended. And gets one for Southside. First goal in the second half for the Cyclones, and a big one at that.
Absolutely. The Cyclones needed it desperately, and Kelly is the man that puts them on the board. Let's take another look at this. There's the feed inside. Turnaround shot. Beautiful.
Not much to it. He just got his hands free, had a step on his defender. 2 goals on Friday, first goal this afternoon or this evening. And that's what Southside needed. Now a big face-off for the Cyclones. And Haggerty just what the doctor ordered for Southside.
Yeah, big win right there, and now Southside can set up offensively here.
Trying to score consecutive goals for the first time today. And that's what you got to do if you're going to put a run together. It's not only score, but the face-off X is so important to get possession. Billy Moore on with Brady West and Dan Capitelli. There's Moore. Melkonian goes low to high and sends it over the crossbar.
Yeah, I thought he was a little hesitant at first. He saw it was so open. What do I do with it? A couple of steps in, just a little too high on that shot.
Here's Sheehan with Ramos on him. He lost his footing, gets back to it though. Sheehan turn around, other side, goal for Southside.
You knew TJ Sheehan was going to get one in at some point today. Had so many looks that didn't fall, and this one does. 6-4, Cyclones only down 2.
Back-to-back goals for the Cyclones coming 50, do my math correctly, 54 seconds apart.
Look at this, he loses his balance, has the wherewithal to come around. And folks, if you're watching this game from the beginning, you know you're thinking what I'm thinking. It really should be 6-5 right now. I know the Southside fans are saying this should be 6-5, not 6-4. And we're going to see if that goal called off comes back to haunt Southside.
And a goal disallowed at the very end of the first half from the senior Owen Ferreira. His time had expired. It was very close. Ball coming near the box, picked up by Southside, but a takeaway for Farmingdale. And Woodland's got it for the Dalers. Pat Erickson just couldn't hold on to it. And Farmingdale has some time or an opportunity to let a little air out of it and take some time off the clock.
Yeah, they're going to try to kill this momentum right here that Southside has enjoyed for the past couple of minutes, and now it's on the defense here to make something happen. But Farmingdale is content, Matt, to just kind of milk the clock a little bit here.
Well, we'll see how much leeway the officials give them in a 2-goal lead with under 8 to play, because this has been their offense much of the day. It's not like they've been going pedal to the metal and trying to push up field. They'll have to... They're waiting. Once they step into the box, I guess they anticipate they won't really be able to step out of it too much. So they come in. Here's Kyle Wilson. And Wilson chased back out. 7:10 to go in this one, a 2-goal advantage. This is Decker, who's been the player of the game thus far. 4 goals, and Decker puts a shot on. Gentile able to make the stop, picked up by Becker. Hard fought ground ball. Boxed out well. Becker working behind the cage. He got the scoring started for Farmingdale way back in the first quarter at the 8:03 mark. And that was the only goal until about 8 seconds remaining in the first from Decker. Here's Becker moving it back up top. Pass gets away, and Woodland able to scoop it off the turf.
Looks like a flag on the field.
A little hesitation here for Decker.
It's going to go against Southside.
And delayed penalty coming up against the Cyclones. If Farmingdale does not score on this very possession, it will be the first man-up chance of the game for the Dalers. And even if they don't, this has been a pretty successful offensive possession. They've held the ball for over 2 minutes. They put a couple of shots on goal, so the officials are not going to call that stall warning too quickly or the delay of game warning. Here's Woodland up top shelf goal.
Wow. How impressive was that shot, folks? You like to see what Decker did today, and then you're oohing and on with some of these shots put on by Ryan Woodland. It's the 1-2 punch for the Dalers, and we'll get another look at this.
Second goal of the game for Woodland. There's nobody within 5 yards of him when he catches the ball, so he's got plenty of time to shoot. The slide a little late. Logan Kelly did what he could to get there, but by then it was too late.
Yeah, I think you're dead on. He had enough time to set up, move his feet, get square to the goal, and fire. And you can't let Ryan Woodland do that to you.
And a little confusion from the faceoff X. Haggerty had gone to talk to Steve DiPietro. He got called over to the sideline, so I think he thought he was going to miss out on the faceoff, and Matt Lazito had started to take it. But Haggerty comes back out to go against the sophomore Mangio. So Haggerty able to get the ground ball, but he's triple teamed by Farmingdale, and a timeout taken by Southside. Steve DiPietro all the way from the Southside sideline. A huge possession for the Cyclones. So they take a timeout. We'll do the same. 5:37 to go in this fourth quarter here on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports. Now is the time to showcase your skills for the next level. College recruiting videos help your athlete land a spot on the team and can save money on college tuition. Consider a professional video produced by Varsity Media. Our quality film and state-of-the-art editing will help your athlete stand out from the competition. We offer affordable rates and a quick turnaround. Contact Varsity Media today and book a college recruiting video. 516-403-2050 or online at varsitymedia.net.
Welcome back to Rockville Center as Southside winning the face-off, calling a quick timeout. A huge offensive possession coming up for the Cyclones, trailing by 3. 5:39 to go in this one. As they try to pull the 3-2 on this young season. We'll restart with the ball in the stick of Brady West, the Loyola commit. As a junior. He pulls it all the way out to the near side corner. Just inside the football end zone.
They must have a play called here. Looking to set something up.
I think they're saying, I'm hearing 4:46. I heard somebody say stop the clock. I don't know why the clock would be stopped. The ball is in play.
Well, that's what happens when fans are at the game. We haven't heard a lot of fans early on in the season, but they're out more and more.
Yeah, that ball was in play the whole time. I don't know if they thought that maybe Southside was starting from there. Because the referee blew the play to start when he was up top near midfield.
Yeah, the refs didn't stop it or anything like that, so obviously they knew the clock was good. Question is, why did Southside kill that much time?
Here's Mindel with it. Up top for West, near side for Kelly. West again with Smeichel on him. Mindel, soft spot right on the crease, and the pass deflected away. They were looking for Considine. Smeichel's got the ground ball for Farmingdale.
Yeah, it was a good look. Considine was open.
He moves ahead, and now looks like Farmingdale will take a timeout after that ground ball. Yeah, curious. I'm not really sure what was going on there because again, just from our perspective up here, and sometimes it's difficult to tell, because the official scoring or the table is down on the opposite side of the field, so we don't have privy to the conversations that are going on. But they came in off the restart. Brady West had the ball at about the football 40-yard line, and I thought I heard the referee whistle, and then he ran down to the near side corner and then held it there for a while. So,
right.
Sometimes they will say, okay, we're bringing the ball in off a different spot, but again, unless I am inventing things in my mind, I thought I heard the referee blow his whistle at the top with Brady West starting at around midfield.
Well, my question is, and obviously you would think that there was a play being set up because
that's what it looked like.
He was holding the ball for an extended period of time. I don't know if they got that play. I don't know if they had called the timeout, they had set something up. I don't know if they got it, but unfortunately for Southside, it cost them close to a minute of time here. Now they don't have the possession, and Farmingdale, as you have talked about throughout the game, they're content to hold the ball. So this is going to be an uphill battle here for the Cyclones. Not out of the stretch of the possibility of getting back in this game, but it's going to be difficult.
Yeah. I would say inside 4 minutes now with 3:47 showing on the clock. I think the The officials gave Farmingdale a good amount of leeway on that last possession, though. Farmingdale, it didn't seem like they were sitting back. They would sit back at times, but they were picking their spots. They were still firing the ball at the cage. They were not just passing the ball around the perimeter. I think we'll probably see it a little bit tighter on this possession with 3:47 to go and a 3-goal advantage.
One thing for sure, if you're a Southside fan, you know that you can play competitively with the A schools. That's what you take from the early part of the season, and who knows if they're fully healthy and fully at strength and all that, but they've been competitive in this game, Matt. There's no two ways around. It could be 7-5 right now with 3:47 to play. So I think you got to feel good about that if you're Southside.
There's Decker, rolling dodge, shot, fake, goal.
Way too easy.
Tom Decker putting up a 5 spot today in Rockville Center. And it's 8-4 Farmingdale.
Well, the bottom line, Matt, is you cannot allow this player this much room, and that's what happened on this play. Beats one of the defenders, and then just too good of a look. Dead on at net with the head fake. Boom. Too easy, Matt. Great job by Decker.
Yeah, almost wonder if Southside kind of anticipated Farmingdale holding on to it, working a little bit more clock.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think that took him by surprise a little bit.
So Decker, with 5 goals today, now has 13 on the season. Ryan Woodland came into the game with a team leading 13 goals overall, but he's also added 2, so he's got 15 on the season.
And how about the job Farmingdale has done out of the gate here? They'll go to 5-1 most likely. A lot of time left on the clock. Mike Hungerford doing a great job, head coach for this Farmingdale Dalers. And we talked about Syosset today, but right now, Massapequa was down a little bit here, Matt. 2-2 on the season. I know they think they played today, but right now in the A's, you're looking at, Port's undefeated, but you're also looking at Farmingdale and Syosset.
Yeah, and Port Washington has looked really good. I thought they looked very complete top to bottom Friday when we saw them against Southside. This Farmingdale team looks offense, defense, the whole thing as well.
Of course, their only loss to Garden City, who dropped one to Syosset today. This is wide open across the board. Everybody's beating each other.
There's DeCarlo inverting. Now Wilson with it for Farmingdale. .218 to play in the 4th quarter. Here's Colton Becker. And again, I think we'll find out a lot right over the next couple weeks, because these two teams will get into their classification type schedule. As the stall warning is on, they have to keep it in the box.
I think we learned a lot about Farmingdale. I think we're going to learn about Southside when they start to get into their schedule, as you talked about, and play some of these B schools. We're going to find out, how many wins can they get off in a row here. They're going to drop to 2 and 3, I believe, on the season, and they want to get back to the winning record, winning column as flags fly right now. It'll be on Southside. So we're going to learn about Southside coming up.
Capucciani getting around that back check, and ball hits the turf. That'll blow the play dead. So we'll see what the penalty is. There's 1:24 left, and Farmingdale could have a chance to go man up for a good portion of that.
I think, again, with the Dalers, they played a complete game today, Matt. I think you would agree. They got great goaltending today by Seaman. The defense was relentless. They had great attacks, great shots on goal. Everything seemed to be clicking today for the Dalers.
Yeah, and again, going back to what Mike Hungerford told us about coming out of Garden City, where he felt like that was sort of like they needed that. They needed to find those weak spots and to have those things that were deficient be identified so they could work on them. He talked about shot selection. That was one thing we saw today. They were definitely keying in. It seemed like they were, like you were able to kind of pick up on it, right, where they were looking at bounce shots and going low, passing around the perimeter, which sounds simple and straightforward, but it can be kind of easy to get a little lackadaisical at times because you don't necessarily always anticipate defensive pressure. So they've been able to stay focused through those couple of games since Garden City, and this was sort of their first real good, solid test of those principles. As now Woodland stepped outside the box, it'll be a turnover. then the other thing that Mike Hungerford talked about was not giving up fast breaks. He said 4 of those Garden City goals in the second quarter were uneven, unsettled situations. So, we had an instance where I don't remember if it was Ramos or Schmeichel coming back and really creating some pressure on what could have been a fast break situation. So we get a timeout here with 16 seconds left. Mike Hungerford wanting to save that possession with a 4-goal lead. And again, you look ahead, coming up, getting into this stretch of games, Farmingdale, and it almost looks, again, very early part of the season, it almost looks like Farmingdale, Syosset, Port Washington seem to be the top tier, if you will, in Class A, and we'll get some good answers to that coming up in this schedule. You see Farmingdale against Massapequa on the 26th, which is always a big rivalry game.
Yep.
And then Syosset and Port Washington later as we get into June.
Yeah, Farmingdale has a good chance to go on a big winning streak here. I would think most people would agree. The Oceanside, Massapequa, Long Beach, those are winnable games in Farmingdale's column. And then I think Syosset and Port Washington really are going to be the big tests for all those teams, for Syosset, Port Washington. But like I said, I think if we can pull up Southside, I think we're going to learn about the Cyclones and where they fall in conference or Class B when the playoffs come around. Because in all likelihood, Southside is going to make it into the postseason. It's just going to be, hey, this MacArthur game on Friday, they got to regroup, Matt. That's a big game. Friday night at MacArthur, they're a competitive team. Calhoun at Cary's not going to be easy. Garden City. And then they finish the season with A teams, Oceanside and Massapequa, right here at Southside.
Yep.
We've got some big games, too, on the Varsity Media Sports Network, so you want to make sure you stick around to that. Also we should thank the people that made this possible, Southside parents and Farmingdale, and the athletic director here at Southside, Carol Rosetto, for being so hospitable. We always love coming here. This is a great vantage point, beautiful press box, great facility here in Southside. You could even watch a softball game from here, man.
Yeah. So they're able to hold on and wind down the clock, and 8-4 is the final today. Farmingdale improves to 5-1 on the season, and Southside drops to 2-3 overall. An 8-4 score your final. We'll be back in a moment, and we'll be joined by our player of the game. Wonder who it's going to be for Farmingdale. Stay with us on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Varsity Media is the tri-state area's leader in sports media production. We specialize in live streaming.
Gargiulo over the middle. He's got a man. It's complete. And Ciolino. See you later. Touchdown, Massapequa.
Videography. And photography. Covering all sports at all levels. We feature aerial photography and videography, college recruiting videos, live streaming of games.
Top of the key, Smith. Why not? Wow. Bang! McKee, first down and more! Charlie McKee! Touchdown, Oceanside!
School events, graduations. Varsity Media is available to cover a game, a tournament, a season, or any special event.
Talk to us a little bit about what went through your mind, how you prepared for that to run such a fast speed.
Currently, spectators are limited at events. Let Varsity Media bring the event to your fans. Contact Varsity Media today for more information. Online at varsitymedia.net or by phone 516-403-2050. You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports. Now is the time to showcase your skills for the next level. College recruiting videos help your athlete land a spot on the team and can save money on college tuition. Consider a professional video produced by Varsity Media. Our quality film and state-of-the-art editing will help your athlete stand out from the competition. We offer affordable rates and a quick turnaround. Contact Varsity Media today and book a college recruiting video. 516-403-2050 or online at varsitymedia.net. Are you settling for a boring live stream? Can't see the players' uniforms? No audio? Camera not following the action? Consider a live stream broadcast with Varsity Media. Our announcers help tell the story of your game.
McCarthy. He's got. Oh, he's in. Touchdown, Farmingdale.
We feature multiple camera angles, guaranteed to capture all the action.
Touchdown, Oceanside.
Plus added features like graphics, instant replay.
Yeah, the shooters are going to shoot here at Bethpage, and one of many threes on the day.
Interviews, and more. It's your time to shine. And with Varsity Media, now you can. Contact us today and book a live stream broadcast with Varsity Media. Online at varsitymedia.net or by phone 516-403-2050. Varsity Media is the tri-state area's leader in sports media production. We specialize in live streaming.
Gargiulo over the middle. He's got a man. It's complete. And Ciolino. See you later. Touchdown, Massapequa.
Videography. And photography. Covering all sports at all levels. We feature aerial photography and videography, college recruiting videos, live streaming of games.
Top of the key, Smith. Why not? Wow. Bang! McKee, first down and more! Charlie McKee! Touchdown, Oceanside!
School events, graduations. Varsity Media is available to cover a game, a tournament, a season, or any special event.
Talk to us a little bit about what went through your mind, how you prepared for that to run such a fast speed.
Currently, spectators are limited at events. Let Varsity Media bring the event to your fans. Contact Varsity Media today for more information. Online at varsitymedia.net or by phone 516-403-2050.
Welcome back to Southside High School as Farmingdale improves to 5-1 on the season. 8-4 victorious today at Southside, and now we're joined by Tom Decker, who had 8 goals on the season coming in. He has 5 today in the winning effort for Farmingdale. And Tom, first, congrats on the offensive output today. I know Coach was talking a little bit after that Garden City about shot selection and having quality shots. How much has that been on your mind and sort of the intent in the last few games for you guys and for you in particular?
Yeah, I think definitely it starts in practice. Coach has been preaching better shot selection, and all the guys on offense have been focusing on it, and I think we definitely showed that today.
And offensively, it seemed like you had a good patient look coming today. What do you think was working both offensively as a unit and specifically for you as well?
I think we verified, we saw the matchups today, and that they really were slow to go to me, so that we took advantage to that.
What do you think, or from your vantage point, what did you see at the end of the first half? It looked like Southside had a goal with Ferreira getting right at the horn, but it was disallowed at halftime. What did you guys see?
Yeah, I know. We definitely tried to hold for the last shot, but we couldn't do that offensively. And then when they came down, they had 7 guys on the field, and the goal was waved off.
Got it. Now as you get into sort of the meat of your conference schedule, right? You'll have Massapequa coming up in a few games, and you'll see Southside and Port a little bit further down as we get into June. How are you guys feeling as you get into like the A portion of this conference schedule?
I think this is a great win to get us started. A couple practices we have until we go into Class A, and we definitely got to work on things that we've seen in the past couple games against good opponents. But I think we're excited going forward.
All right, Tom, appreciate it, and congratulations again on the win.
Thank you, guys.
So Tom Decker, again, has 5 goals today in the winning effort for Farmingdale as they improve to 5-1 on the season with an 8-4 victory today at Southside. So for everybody involved in our broadcast, for our producer, Chris Sweeney, our executive producer, Ben Turchin, I'm Ed Shortis saying so long, and we'll see you next time on the Varsity Media Sports Network.